Welcome back to the show, everybody. Some communities appear like they don't have socioeconomic challenges, but sometimes right next door to that big house with a swimming pool are families facing eviction.
This is something special that's happening in the Canyon School District, and here to talk more about how we can all help out those families is community school specialist Michelle Vogler. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us what that means to be the school specialist. What does that job entail?
Yeah, so community schools is sort of a nationwide program or model. It's not really a program, it's a model that's used to try to get conditions right for learning. So really looking at those, communities and those areas in which families are struggling, often are living, being economically disadvantaged. We often have many students who are experiencing homelessness, refugee families, those kinds of things. And so really what we're trying to do is try to kind of wrap around those services and try to get those conditions right so that they can go to school and learn, and they can go to school to be successful. So it's a lot of helping those families.
Michelle, do you often hear that Canyons District doesn't have that much need? It's one of the wealthier districts in our state.
Yes.
And how do you respond to that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because many people don't see it that way, right? They see a lot of, the $1 million homes and families that are doing very well. And what they don't realize is that you can drive 5 to 10 minutes down the street and be in an area where that is not the case, where we have families that are doubled and tripled up. We have families experiencing homelessness. In fact, we have one of Utah's largest family shelters right within our district boundaries. And so many people don't understand that. They don't see that side of Canyons District, and so they don't believe that there is that need. But once we have those conversations, it really does turn the corner for that.
Well, thank goodness you're here today to let us know that, or to remind us that these students, however it looks to the outside eye or whatever assumptions we might make, everybody's situation is different and there's a whole mix going on.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that's a little unique that people don't realize is that we have students experiencing homelessness in every one of our district, or every one of our schools in our district. And so even your schools that, again, are surrounded by larger homes or those communities look very well off, we have families within that school that are really experiencing that economic disadvantage.
You say nearly a quarter of your students qualify for federal assistance. That's free or reduced price lunches.
Correct.
And that means you're under the poverty index. Are some of these refugees, like you mentioned?
Absolutely. We are one of the refugee resettlement agencies. We have refugees from all over the world. So refugees from the Ukraine and Afghanistan and African countries and South American countries. And so they're coming from all over. And of course, many of them are fleeing situations of unrest, wars and things like that. And so of course they come with next to nothing.
Talk about what the district has started, the centralized resource closet.
So one of the things we've done is the community schoolwork has really partnered with the Canyons District Foundation to create a resource closet. And so what we have there is we're really gathering donations and support. So school supplies along with hygiene items and clothing and shoes and laundry detergent, all of those needed items to help kids be successful in school. And we have one centralized location that any employee in the district can gather those or request those items at any time in the school year for families.
Because you can't have a closet with nothing in it.
Correct, absolutely.
We need to fill it, and we need our viewers' help to fill it.
Yes.
What are some of those things that you say are must-haves that our viewers can donate?
Yeah, absolutely. School supplies, but also things like deodorant, shoes, clothing, shelf-stable foods, shampoo, conditioner, all of those items that you think of that kids need to not only come to school feeling ready and feeling successful, and then once they get to school, be able to have, items to be successful in their school day.
Yeah, and we can drop those items off where?
Yeah, so you can drop those items off at the Walmart at Quarry Bend, but you also can always contact the district and drop them off at the district office. And we collect items year-round because we have a lot of movement and a lot of mobility. So anytime in the school year, we will gladly accept donations.
Not just right now. We're also accepting donations here at ABC4. Yeah. So if you'd like to drop them here, we'll make sure they get to where they need to be. And this affects learning. If you're prepared this way, you're prepared when you get to the classroom.
Absolutely, and that's what we're trying to do is not only get those conditions right so they can learn, but really help those teachers so that they can really teach and do what they're there for as well.
Thank you so much for spreading the word and telling us how we can help and what it is they need.
All right, thank you so much.